Hello everyone! So welcome to the final episode of the 2019 Black Orchid Book Awards. And yeah, this is going to be the episode where we get to have all the fun extra little character awards that I have been dying to get to. Now, just a reiteration from the last video, any book name that you see pop up on the screen, there is a risk of spoilers. So just be warned of that right now. I'll try not to say anything too extreme, but yeah, it's a possibility, just so you're aware. So the first award I'm giving out in this video is the Character I Most Want to Meet award. That's gonna go to Bod from the Graveyard Book. Bod is such a fun, likable, interesting character. He grows up in a graveyard surrounded by ghosts, so he is a bit eccentric, but that kind of almost adds to his charm. He is very brave, he's very clever, even if he does do stupid stuff sometimes, because he is a kid. But he's a good person, and I feel like he'd be a lot of fun to hang out with. Maybe he could teach me some Latin, I don't know. Now, I can't have a Character I Most Want to Meet award without having a Character I Least Want to Meet award. There were a number of characters that fall into this category. Pretty much every villain from this year could fit on this list, but some of them were worse than others, and I decided to go with Caligula from the Tyrant's Tomb. Caligula is terrifying. Now, you see more of his cruelty in the previous book, The Burning Maze, but you still see it in this book, and he's the type of person who he literally will just mess with you just for the sake of it, because it's fun. And not like oh, I'm making you uncomfortable, like I will enslave you, literally, because you said one thing that you kind of had to say because you were afraid of me. He's just an extremely scary, unpleasant person to be around. So yeah, Caligula is the character I'd least want to meet from this year. Next up, we have the Favorite New Character Award. This is pretty much what it sounds like. Which new character that I found this year is my favorite. This obviously excludes characters like Apollo from Tyrant's Tomb, Hamlet from Hamlet, because I was already familiar with them before this year. But that being said, the character I'm about to list would be in contention with them. Regardless of that, I do really, really love this character, and that is Silas from the Graveyard Book. Silas is Bod's mentor. I don't want to say too much, but he's the Bagheera character, because this book is basically the Jungle Book told in a graveyard instead of a jungle. Yeah, Silas is the Bagheera character. And next award goes to the character most in need of a hug. There were a lot of them this year, oh my goodness. So much pain for the characters. A lot of them needed a hug. And I decided to go with Apollo from Tyrant's Tomb. Apollo, like, he does some stupid stuff, but he's been through so much crap in his lifetime, he really needs a hug. Next question is Best Mentor. Now, there were a lot of good mentors this year. Incidentally, I find it kind of funny that if you look at the nominees, most of them are from the Graveyard Book. But I decided to go with Silas from the Graveyard Book because he was there for pretty much Bod's entire childhood. He essentially helped to raise Bod. His official status with Bod is guardian. He's called his guardian, even if Bod has a mother and father as well. And Silas is very good at teaching Bod and helping him learn things. Bod, when he was little, would often have questions for just people in the graveyard, and other people around the graveyard wouldn't really know how to answer him, but he always knew that Silas would be able to answer him. So, yeah. And he also ensures that Bod will be taken care of when he can't be around, because that does happen sometimes where he has to travel for business or whatever, so he calls someone else in to take care of Bod. Now, following up on that, we have a supporting character most deserving. And again, I'm going to go with Silas. I have to. He's such an interesting character. It's not confirmed in the book, but it's basically confirmed, and it is confirmed in other sources, I believe, that Silas is a vampire. But he's a vampire who has fled his home. Kind of. We don't really know the details. And he is living in this graveyard, and he helps to raise this child. And he seems to be part of this secret organization or something. It's not very clear, which is why I want a book about Silas, because there are so many unanswered questions about him, and he is interesting enough. He could be a really wonderful protagonist. So yeah, Neil Gaiman, if by some weird miracle you see this, please give us a book about Silas. I would absolutely love it. Now we have the Found Family Award. This award goes to my favorite new found family. And what I mean by found family, of course, is a group of characters who essentially, for all intents and purposes, function like a family, but they're not technically related either legally or through blood. I'm going to give this award to Apollo and Meg from the Tyrant's Tomb. The reason being that while they have kind of been pseudo-family for a couple of books now, this is the book where they finally actually confirm it. That Apollo actually realizes, I love her like a sister. She's basically my little sister, and you can see her kind of going, yeah, like, feelings mutual. And it's really, really sweet. There are other people who do care about them, but ultimately they mainly rely on each other. And I love their relationship so much, and it's really nice watching them grow and become closer. And the final award of this entire series that we are now finishing up with is the Most Enigmatic Character Award. There were a lot of enigmatic characters this year. Not as many as, say, like the Best Friends Award, but there was a fair number. And I had fun picking this one, because it could Jack Frost from the Graveyard Book. Can you see a theme? Jack Frost, which is the main villain from this book, he isn't the most powerful villain for most of the book, although he becomes so very close to the end-ish. But he's probably the one that is the least comprehensible, because you don't know what motivates him. You kind of know what motivates the organization he works for, but you don't understand why he's working with the organization, and for a long time, we don't know who he works for even. You're not given many answers regarding Jack Frost, and it's even weirder when you see the way he can just blend into society when he wants to normally, despite the fact that he's so psychotic and creepy when he's on the job. So yeah, Jack Frost is a very creepily interesting character, very enigmatic. So thank you all for watching this series. It's been a lot of fun to create. And I had a really good reading year, so thank you all of you for discussing books with me and helping me to be motivated to read more and to discover more books. So have a fabulous day and a wonderful 2020, and I guess the entire decade of the 2020s. See you later. Bye-bye. And in case you're wondering, now that I have my glasses back on, I can actually see this. Yeah, no surprises. The Graveyard Book and Tyrant's Tomb had the most awards. Graveyard Book had 6, Tyrant's Tomb had 5, Screaming Staircase had 4, Hamlet had 3, and then all of the others had 1. So, yeah, you can tell which ones were in my top echelon of the year from that alone. But if you want to see a full ranking, I do have a video of that. I'll link it down below.